This is Carl at National RV Detroit, and I'm going to walk you through this 2021 Bighorn fifth wheel, and the model number is 3995FK. So this is going to be more of a how-to video. It's not a floor plan video. I'm going to show you some of the features and how they work, okay? So let's just start on the outside here. I'm at the door side rear of the trailer, right here. Okay, so you see you have a tire rack there. Okay. Now when it comes to your leveling system, it has an automatic leveling system, and it's a 6-point system. So there are 6 jacks on it, and it auto levels. There's 2 ways to operate the auto level system. One is outside at the front, the other one is the one inside. The one on the inside, it generally has more features than the one on the outside, but I'll show them both to you, okay? Alright, so you have a power awning with LED strip. Pass-through basement here with with a TV hookup, signal out and power if you wanted to put a TV out here. You have 2 30-pound LP tanks with this. As we keep walking, now this is pre-wired for a camera kit. So this one has a backup camera. This will be the door side, front or side, and on the other side there's an off-door side. And it doesn't look like I can't tell you for sure, but I don't think it has the camera over the door. I didn't prep this one. But either way, you can purchase a kit, and you can have cameras all the way around it. You'll be able to see both sides and the rear. And you'll have a monitor that sits up in the cab with you in your tow vehicle, okay? Alright, so, excuse me again. You have your battery here, right? These are your hydraulics here, your fluid and all your lines, of course, your pump. These are both kill switches. The trailer is on right now, but you can disconnect the battery from the rest of the trailer if you choose to. This right here is an inverter, right? So what an inverter does, it takes 12-volt DC power, like regular battery power, and it'll invert it to 120 AC. In this case, it sends that right to your refrigerator inside. So basically, when you're pulling down the road, your tow vehicle's alternator would be charging the battery, and then the inverter will be inverting the power up to 120 AC, from 12-volt DC to 120 AC, and keeping your refrigerator going. It's a regular 110 refrigerator, okay? Now there's also inside the trailer power converter, which does just the opposite, converts AC to DC power. Almost all trailers have that. But this one right here is the inverter, okay? Excuse me. So, your other tank. Now, this is your outside leveling system here. It's limited compared to the one inside. It has the 2 basic features. There are 3 on here, but the 2 basic ones are auto level, right, and auto hitch height. Hitch height is the position that the trailer was in right before you pushed auto level. So once you pull into the campground, you unhook your tow vehicle, pull it out from underneath, then push auto level. It remembers that position, and then when it's time to leave, you can just push hitch height, and it'll put it right back in that same position. So in a perfect world, you can slide right underneath and you'll be all set, ready to go. Now if you were to push retract all, it even retracts the front landing gear, so it'll nosedive the trailer. It won't hurt anything unless something's under the front here, but you don't use that very often. Auto level and hitch height. To turn this one on, you push both of these buttons, these arrows, at the same time. See it lit up there. And you can also control your front landing gear up and down with these 2 arrows right here, so you can control that separately. Alright, I'll show you when we get inside, I'll show you the touch panel, and you'll have the same thing plus a few more functions. Alright, that's just your dump hose that comes with it. this is your water. So this is obviously just a spray port. Let me see if I can get that off just so it's out of the way. I can't really do it one-handed. Well, I can't get it one-handed. I got the camera in the hand, so we'll start here. This is your water filter. It does have valves on it. This is empty right now. There's nothing in the canister. You get a wrench with it. You'll be able to spin the canister off. Put a water filter if you choose to use one. Most people, or many people, don't use it anymore because they don't drink the water. It's just a carbon block filter. It's good for solids and taking like chlorine and some heavier minerals out of the water. If you do use it, you got to change it every season. You throw it out when you winterize, and then after you de-winterize, you put a new one in every year. All right, so right here, this is where you bypass the water heater. It's in normal camping mode right now, just 2 positions, okay? This is where the water hooks up right here. That's your inlet. Now, right now we're dry camping, so if you turn on the, let's say it this way. If I go into this position right there, that would be if you have city water. So if you had city water, you just put it to this position here, and it'll run off city water. If you're camping at a campground that does not have plumbing on the campsites, you know, like some state parks will have a fill station when you first go in, but no plumbing on the campsite. Well, you can pre-fill it. You can go to this position here, and the water will go and start filling the fresh water tank, right? After it's full, you go to dry camping, and you'll be able to turn on the water pump and pump water out of the fresh water tank. So even if you don't have city water, everything will work as though you have city water. So you have 2 options, and it should get you out of any, or get you good plumbing in either situation here. So these are just ins and throughs for campground cable and satellite. All right, another one is just a through. This is your black tank flush right here. So when it comes to your black tank, you have a gray tank valve here. All right, and then you have, let me look around, see if I can spot them real easily. I mean, you'll be able to find them yourself, obviously. They're pretty obvious, but let me see where we're at here. Oh boy. Let me get down here and see if they're tucked up behind here. Aha. Oh, brother. All right, let me get up here. Here they are right here, okay? So you got a black tank on the left, which is your toilet water and waste, and the first gray tank, which is sink and shower water, right next to it, okay? That's right there behind that little access hatch there. And then for your kitchen sink, you have a separate gray tank, which would be this one right here, okay? All right, so back to what I was saying about the flush. So if you hook the hose of the dump station onto here, then you dump your black tank and leave the valve open. You have to leave the valve open like it says on this sticker right here. You turn on the water, it'll spray out the inside of your black tank. It'll spray off the sensor so you get a really good reading. It's just a good thing to do. If you have a working hose at the dump station when you're dumping, it's always best to flush the tank also, okay? Alrighty, this is just your furnace out here. You have the blue one right there is for your fresh water tank drain, and those are low point drains right next to it for when you're plumbing, or I'm sorry, not plumbing, when you're winterizing the trailer. You have a 50 amp 30-foot cord because it's a 50 amp system, and we give you the reducers with it to reduce it down to a 30. We also give you another one to go down to a 20 in case you want to plug it in at home or something and you want to use the lights, that sort of thing. Okay, so your water heater works on both gas and electric. Keep in mind that this switch right here, on and off, this controls the electric heating element that's behind this cover here. So that's where the electric heating element is, and that's the switch for it. There will be more switches inside for this water heater, but keep in mind that that's there. Also, this is the drain right here. It takes an 1 1/16 6-point socket, and you also need like a 6-inch extension and a ratchet or a bar to break it. But that's where you drain the water heater tank at. Never run the electric heating element, or the gas for that matter, unless you have water in the tank. Always make sure you check that. This is your, like on all water heaters, it's a safety device for excess pressure. Never work on this. Never drain it or release the pressure or anything like that if the water is hot. You always got to wait till it cools down, because you can scald yourself or worse really easily. So don't do that. And also keep in mind that this will be under pressure. So if you're going to take this off, you got to open the hot water valves in the trailer to let the pressure out of the system. Because if you don't, this is going to shoot out of there like a cannonball, followed by a gallon or so of water. So always make sure it's cool and there's no pressure in it when you're working on it. Okay. Okay. Hopefully I'm making sense to you. All right. So that's where your backup camera goes. Like I said, you can get them in a set, or you could just put a backup camera. You don't even have to put the side ones. It's up to you. Your ladder makes it real easy to inspect your roof, which is a great thing, because the manufacturer states you should inspect the roof every 90 days. So somebody needs to go up there, check the sealant, make sure there's no cracking or separation. Look at the roofing attachments and material, make sure it wasn't damaged by low branches or road debris flying up there, anything like that. Okay. Also, this tube here is where you put your dump hose at after you've used it. All right. Okay, so let's go inside. Okay, so let's see what we have here. We'll start right here. So I told you that this has an inverter to run the refrigerator. You can convert or invert 12-volt DC to 120 AC, and it runs the refrigerator. This is the switch for it here. You can turn it on and off right there, just so you know. This is just lighting here. This is your touch panel. So let's just go through the devices. The easiest way to look at it. Okay, so you have your awning here. So if I was to push awning, you can extend and retract your awning. If you want to make it a favorite, so it moves right up to the front, you can click this on and it'll make it a favorite. Generator, it's wired for it. It doesn't have one, but it's wired. Let's go to leveling. So your leveling system, I showed you the controller outside. Well, this one does the same thing with auto hitch height, level, but you can also do manual. So if you were to push manual, you can actually operate the jacks independently of each other. And so if you need to do some adjusting, like it's a real big drop, or for some reason it won't quite auto level, you can operate them independently of each other right there if you need to. See if it backs off for me here. There we go. There we go. Sometimes you push too hard, sometimes it's not hard enough. I'm not used to this one right here. Let me try it again. Jeez, OP. Right again. There it goes. Okay. Your slide rooms, for example, are here. So if you push slides, you have your kitchen slide, your main slide. You know, the rest of them are... I'll check in the back, but for right now, you have your main slide and your kitchen slide right here. So these would be these two slides right here. So on and so forth. The panel is pretty typical. It's self-evident. You just have to fiddle with it to get used to it. That's all. But they're all pretty much the same. So you have some theater seats here, and they do plug in. So that means, oh, here we go. You have a light. Oh, I just turned on the shake and bake, I think. It's vibrating right now. So that was this one here. Yep. And then the heater's on, so that was that one there. And that's everything off, of course. You can operate the reclining feature here. If you can see that okay. And then back. And then it has a light, so it's has a lot of functions. Like I said, it does the shake and bake too. It'll vibrate, plus it'll heat up. So, okay. Now these sofas here will turn into hide-a-bed. So you pull the cushions off, right, and then you would take the cushions and set them aside somewhere. Then you're going to grab this down here and fold it out. It's a 3-panel hide-a-bed. So that's for guests, obviously. Right now with your dinette table, there's probably going to be 2 more chairs. They'll probably be under the bed. We'll look for them. Right now this extension is out, but of course you're not going to, let me get this here, you're not going to keep it like that. It's only for, oh, shucks. Well, I have to do it with 2 hands, I'm sorry. But it comes loose and then you'll drop it down. I don't know with both slide outs in if you could have it open like that, I guess is what I'm saying. So we'll close it down for you. Okay, so your TV, which pretty much works like any TV, that would be this remote right here. This is for your fireplace right here. So, you know, right there it's on. You see right, that flashing H means it's on high fan speed. There is H. Let me see if you can get it here. Off and then low. Those are fan speeds. Okay. You can also set the thermostat. The temperature goes up in 5-degree increments. You can change the color of the crystals. Okay, and then let's see what else we have. A timer on it, so you can set the timer to have it turn on and turn off as needed. It's a good space heater, so if you've got it on with the fan at 5, it'll really put out the heat. On those days where you don't quite need, in the morning or evening when you don't quite need the furnace running, you can run this and take the chill right out of it. So, okay. Next is the sound. Now this has all current functions with it. So this is the remote here. So you can play CDs and DVDs right here, of course. You have Bluetooth, so you can stream wirelessly from your phone or tablet. FM radio, AM radio, you can stream off a USB, so you could put all your albums on one USB drive and take them with you, whatever you want to do. This HDMI is an in, so if you need to get into the system with something, that's the best way to do it. And it has different speaker zones for inside the trailer, outside the trailer, so it does a lot. And of course there's a manual that comes with it too, but the thing is it has pretty much everything you'll need, including Bluetooth, so you're all set with that. Okay, let me get on my feet here. This, I don't know if it swings out or not. I don't think it does. I'm just trying to make sure here. Okay, so let's see. Let me look around here, see if I've touched on everything. Looks like it. So your bathroom, yeah, obviously your shower and your sink work like any other sink and shower. This is a remote for your fan up here. It has an automatic vent cover on it, so it goes up and down, everything you need. And it can just be operated from right here. Your toilet is an RV toilet, so you have a flush pedal here. And black tank is directly below down there. So before you use it, you pull into the campsite, obviously hook up your power and your water. You'll come in here, put 1 dose of chemical right in the bowl. Then you'll stand on the pedal and put at least 1 gallon of water into the tank, and you're all set. You can't use it dry. If you do, the smell will be terrible, plus you can get clogged up. So you always want to make sure you have water, at least 1 gallon of water. Some people use more, but water and a dose of chemical in there before you start using it. Alrighty. So I would imagine the chairs will be under here. Let's look and see. Yeah, there they are there. 2 folding chairs that match the ones out there. Sound here, just like I'm sorry, TV here, just like you have out there. I'm sure there's a remote. Oh, there's a remote there, so you can watch it when you're laying in bed. Plenty of plenty of drawers for storage. Okay, you have a thermostat here. You hit the mode to light it up, and then you can just go through all the different options. If they give you an option when it comes to the fan, always use it on auto. Keep that in mind. Let me just look and see what this is here. Huh. Yeah, this is actually plumbed for a combo. It looks like it's not big enough for stackable, so it's a washer dryer combo. You got the plumbing here, you got power, and the place where your vent goes. So if you wanted to add a washer dryer combo, you could do that right there. Okay. All the emergency windows work the same way. You go like this, then you're going to push it through. And, oops, I'm sorry about my camera work. You push it all the way through, and then you would grab a hold of this red tab and pull the screen out, and you can escape in an emergency. Okay. So let's go up to the kitchen. Okay, so here's the thermostat for up here, for this zone up here. You also have another fan with a powered lid and everything on it. There it is right there. It has 4 speeds, so it'll, when you turn it on low, it'll go very slowly. If you put it on 4, it'll just about pull your hair straight up. It's really powerful. One of the, people use it for just a vent when it's not quite cool enough to run the furnace, or let me say this backwards. It's not quite warm enough to run the air conditioner. There you go. You can run the fan. But another thing people use it for is, like, if you got a lot of people over, it's the time of year where you're going to get condensation from your breath, and you start to get this condensation a bit. You turn these on, and it'll pull all that right out. You'll never have an issue with it. So, okay. Your keys are hanging right here on the faucet. All right. Microwave here. Also has a vent and a light on it. I need two hands to do this one, but I'll try it. You're going to go to the light, depress it, and then spark it. There you go. See it right there. So you need 2 hands really. You're going to depress this. After you put it on the flame, you'll depress it and then spark it with that one. The oven works like any other oven the same way. This is your refrigerator we talked about. Now that snaps shut right here. Oops, I'm sorry. Sorry about my camera work. I was showing you absolutely nothing right there. I'm sorry. But this, you can pull this apart and it opens up, that sort of thing. There's another one here. So you just basically keeps them from flying open during transit and damaging the doors. This is telling us that this is pre-wired for internet Wi-Fi booster / router. You also can get 4G function and that sort of thing, but that would be a monthly fee. But people generally, when they use these, they'll use the public Wi-Fi. There's an antenna that would go on the roof, and then it would connect to a router. It's a box that is about, maybe 8 inches square that would go right here. So keep that in mind. That's always an option if you need good public Wi-Fi. Okay. Let me look around here. I think we've pretty much gone through it all for the most part. Okay. Alright, so I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Please remember what I said about inspecting the roof every 90 days. That's what the manufacturer states. It's a way to stay ahead of any possible problems. So if you inspect it, you're going to know if there are any issues. So it's a good thing to do. And also, right now, this trailer is de-winterized. The antifreeze has been purged out and replaced with fresh water. Your water heater is in camping mode and filled, so it's all ready to go right now. So the water's all set. So, okay, thank you very much.